When women fall out of love, their eyes change way before their behavior. And the scariest part is that you don't even see this happening. I know this because I've lived it. 5 heartbreaks, years of overcompensating, buying love with effort, and losing myself trying to prove that I was good enough. Because I thought being the nice guy is what made me valuable. But it made me invisible and miserable. And when I then rebuilt myself, I realized something brutal. Women don't lose attraction first. They lose trust in your emotional leadership. And once that's gone, her eyes change, her tone changes, and so does her softness. It disappears. So, after watching countless men rebuild this, not with any sort of tactics or whatsoever, I realized that the issue a lot of men are facing is they don't understand how to recalibrate themselves. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this in this video. Okay? So, attraction isn't emotional, right? And I know probably no one's ever told you this, but it's actually biology. Or let's just say neurological. Okay? Because the woman sometimes even, she's not even, have you not heard women say things like, I don't know what it is about him? That tells you that they're not in charge. They're not in charge of who they're attracted to. But I'll tell you who it is. Their nervous system. And the nervous system only softens around a man whose presence is consistent. It's not about the looks. It's not about how the person, what the person is able to give them. It's not about how the person carries themselves. It's about his presence. Nothing to do with gifts. See, when I first met my wife and we were just dating, I was supposedly meant to be competing with some tough guys, man. Pro footballers, you freaking name it. And yeah, I just wasn't interested in competing with them. Not because I didn't value my wife, but because I understood they were already I can't compete with someone that doesn't understand what I understand. You were fighting a losing battle by the time you thought that we were gonna get into a turf war where we're going to see who makes her feel like they want to take care of her more. That's not the game we're playing here. The game we're playing is whose presence is more stable. And by the time you're doing this, and I'm just like this, you've already lost. So I need you to understand that a woman's presence is attracted to someone that is stable, consistent, and of course has now created the space or environment for them to now create the safety, the environment where she now can actually feel there's a connection and all sorts of things. But that comes from a stable ground. If you're not doing that, your foundation's already flawed. And this is why her turn sharpens. This is why her body tenses. This is why her desire fades. Have you not now seen how sometimes women are now saying things like, I have love for him, but I don't love him? Again, you check, and this is the pattern. After working with hundreds of men, I've seen this happen. It's the thing, the stability goes. And sometimes, for the stability to disappear, it was the way she spoke to you. It was the way that certain conversation was handled. And that's all it took for the transition to come alive. Understand the power in being steady. That is the true essence of masculinity. Being grounded, steady. I stand on this. This is what I stand on. So let me tell you why it's going to get worse. Because you've already seen this, right? Her eyes don't stay on you as long. Hugs feel like an obligation. Her responses get shorter. And everything becomes heavier, quieter, and colder. Now, when this happens, this is how your stability loses its presence. You start asking questions like, is she losing interest? What did I do wrong? Why does everything feel so distant? Why is she not looking at me the same? And then to fix that, you try harder, you plan more dates, you become nicer, you talk softer, you help more, you give more. And these things only make it worse. Whew. You know what? This is so sad because this was my life for five freaking relationships. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Because effort can't fix presence. And performance cannot replace leadership. I made a video last week where I was briefly discussing the power of influence over control with leverage. Influence and leadership are like cousins, best friends, in fact. And that is a universal game you want to be playing. Because when you're able to play in the influence leadership game, they've made a decision to trust your leadership. But you've got to trust yours first. Because if you don't trust your leadership, if your body doesn't trust its leadership, then why should anyone else? Women will never tell you that they've lost trust for you to lead them anymore. Because a lot of times, this is not to bad people. These are good men. And remember, they don't even know what made them choose them in the first place. But at some point, when they say things that something's missing, I can guarantee you, a lot of those men have stopped leading themselves. And I know that so well because I stopped leading myself. Because I needed the relationship a lot more than it needed me. And that realization broke me the way nothing else ever has. That I had lost myself so deep that a connection was more important than my identity. My question to you is, if your identity disappears, who the hell is that relationship with? That's when I realized that a lot of us get into these relationships and we don't understand that it's actually the fact that it's not the person that we're attached to as much as we think we are. It's what that a person allows us to become that we're attached to. When we don't know who we are, we don't make it clear that this is my identity and this is your identity. And I'm okay with whoever you are because I'm okay with whoever I am. And we're going towards the same direction. So we've built clarity around why we're in each other's spaces. Until I rebuilt the version of me that I knew I was confident being, there was no way nothing I would have done would have changed. And the moment I done that, I kid you not, me and my wife have one of the best relationships I've seen. Not because we're perfect, by the way, but because we're clear. And that clarity comes from not being scared to confront certain things. Babe, I disagree with this. Babe, I disagree with that. Okay, cool. What does the outcome look like? Clarity gives peace, even during troubled times. Right? And a woman responds to these three things in a man: his internal stability, his emotional command, and his identity. Once those things are clear, certain, and concise, I promise you, your life is going to change. And that's why in my recalibrate, rebuild, and reframe system, this freaking works. I mean, I'm doing it. I've done it. And I've done it for so many others. But most importantly, whoever now embodies this doesn't need me anymore. I didn't create this. I just created a system that I felt men needed to be able to handle this stuff because no one else is doing it. And this isn't about becoming alpha or running away from being better. This is about becoming whole. This is about understanding that this is what you stand for and you're going to stand for it whether people like it or not. Because it's your identity. This is about making a decision without looking back. Because when a man recalibrates, a woman doesn't need to convince herself. Her body remembers. I'm not even saying this in a cocky way, but in my single days, being clear on who I was was probably one of my best leverages. Because I didn't need to compete with most people. I was dating some of the exes or people I was speaking to at the time were actually quite high caliber women. But what kept them around was the fact that this guy doesn't shake. He's not scared of or intimidated by other people. And if you want that confidence in yourself, in your vision, that's going to stop you from panicking. I remember one time someone told me, what if Drake speak to your girl? Who's Drake? Let him try. The fuck? I need you to understand that's the type of confidence I want you to have. Stop admiring other man's pockets. It's disgusting. If you're listening and something in your chest has moved, I want you to understand that you can get that version back. It's going to be ugly, but you can do it. And I can help you do it. Because I'm going to show you what stopped you from keeping it in the first place. So, if you feel like the distance with your partner is growing, you feel like it's getting quieter and things are getting tougher, this is your chance. Drop me a message on either LinkedIn or Instagram or via email saying, Matt, let's speak. I want to talk to you about this and I want to see how I can get the version back of me that allows me to be authentic and free. And I'll show you exactly what I've done. But guys, I think I'm done for today and I'll see you in the next one.